history was rife with mad kings. That wasn't just a hypothetical to create great drama. It was reality. Throughout time, we've seen that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And not just the soul, but the mind. They become mentally unwell. Real mad kings in history include King George III, Louis XIV, Nero, Ivan the Terrible, and my favorite, Charles VI of France, who believed he was made of glass. Why is this so common? Well, number one, because they're inbred. Royal families often married close relatives so they could maintain royal bloodlines and keep their wealth and power. But that, of course, increases the likelihood of hereditary mental illness and genetic disorders. Number two, poisoning. It wasn't as easy back then to detect when someone has slipped something into your food. Not to mention the fact that royals often wore that white makeup that we now know causes lead poisoning. And third, trauma. Many royals lived in families where people were constantly killing their parents or killing their brothers to try to usurp power. So they were raised in this trauma. But here's the most interesting explanation. That as a monarch, you're living in an alternate reality. You're lauded and treated like you're not just a mere mortal, you're almost godlike. You start to believe that you're untouchable. You become a narcissist. The people around you become enablers, yes men. So you're not held to accountability for anything you do wrong. Maybe they know you're not capable of reigning, but they're too afraid to say something. Or they're too weak to resist the allure of being close to you, of having access to your power. We know that isolation is a surefire way to drive someone insane. You lock someone up in a room alone and they start to lose their sanity. Well, the same thing is to be said when you put someone on a pedestal. Up there, they're by themselves. They're alone and they think they're invincible and they become a complete narcissist. And on top of it, you add an immense amount of pressure. And then on top of that, they're constantly thinking they're about to be assassinated. Back to Shakespeare. One sees more devils than hell can hold. Paranoia, above all, can lead to devastating consequences. And by the way, it's not just mad kings. There are plenty of mad queens too. You want to hear about them? I do.